is if he says something that I don't know or haven't realized or haven't thought of, and there's something relevant to it theory, I'm obviously going to take a moment to write it on a post-it. And then I'm going to make you guys beg to know what was written on that post-it. Alright, let's go. So we're on page 85, section Formal Reconstruction. What earthly use is it to be able to identify the various kinds of valid and invalid arguments? Often they can expose fallacious reasoning in everyday life. Rational argumentation consists in laying out a common ground of premises that everyone accepts as true, together with conditional statements that everyone agrees make one proposition follow from another, and then cranking through valid rules of inference that yield the logical and only the logical implications of the premises. Stay here, stay here, stay here, stay here. Often an argument falls short of this ideal. It uses a fallacious rule of inference, like affirming the consequent, or it depends on a premise that was never explicitly stated, turning the syllogism into what logicians call an enthymeme. Now, no mortal has the time or attention span to lay out every last premise and implication in an argument, so in practice, almost all arguments are enthymemes. Still, it can be instructive to unpack the logic of an argument as a set of premises and conditionals, the better to spot the fallacies and missing assumptions. It's called formal reconstruction, and philosophy professors sometimes assign it to their students to sharpen their reasoning. Here's an example. A candidate in the 2020 Democratic presidential primary, Andrew Yang, ran on a platform of implementing a universal basic income, UBI. Here's an excerpt from his website in which he justifies the policy. I have numbered the statements. 1. The smartest people in the world now predict that 1/3 of Americans will lose their job to automation in 12 years. 2. Our current policies are not equipped to handle this crisis. 3. If Americans have no source of income, the future could be very dark. 4. A $1,000 per month UBI funded by a value-added tax would guarantee that all Americans benefit from automation. Statements 1 and 2 are factual premises. Let's assume they are true. 3 is a conditional and is uncontroversial. There is a leap from 3 to 4, but it can be bridged in 2 steps. There is a missing but reasonable conditional. 2a, if Americans lose their jobs, they will have no source of income. And there is the valid denial of the consequent of 3, yielding if the future is not to be dark, Americans must have a source of income.